Sami Zayn's most disrespectful moment ever. Trick Williams has finally had enough. Sami Zayn looked a man dressed in a gingerbread man costume dead in the eyes, grabbed him by the collar, hit him with a low blow, punched him repeatedly in the face, and then ripped his arm clean off in the middle of a WWE ring. On live television. On SmackDown. In front of thousands of people. And the crowd stood there with their mouths wide open in genuine shock, not because they couldn't believe someone was hurt, but because they couldn't believe what Sami Zayn has become. This is the man the WWE Universe has loved for years. The man who survived the bloodline. The man who tapped into Usos and became one of the most beloved babyfaces of the last decade. And now, week after week since WrestleMania 42, he is deteriorating in real time in front of our eyes into something uglier, something pettier, something far more dangerous than anyone expected. And Trick Williams has seen enough. He has felt the disrespect. He sprinted to that ring, he unloaded on Zayn with everything he had, and what is coming at Backlash 2026 in Tampa, Florida is going to be one of the most personal, most emotionally combustible championship rematches of the entire year. And you need to understand how we got here, every step, every slight, every calculated act of disrespect, because this story is so much richer and so much angrier than just a man attacking a gingerbread man costume. Let us go all the way back to the beginning. Because Sami Zayn's descent into this unrecognizable version of himself did not start with the gingerbread man. It did not start with Trick Williams walking through that curtain and immediately commanding the attention of every single person in that SmackDown arena. It started much earlier with a feeling that has been festering inside Sami Zayn for years. A feeling that no matter how hard he works, no matter how many moments he creates, no matter how close he gets, the door to the very top of this company always slams shut in his face at the last second. The story that kickstarted the rivalry between the two superstars was Williams suggesting that Zayn couldn't get the job done. International Business Times, https://www.ibtimes.co.uk/John-Cena-42-42-host-1789425. That was the spark. That was the sentence from a new arrival, a young man barely 4 months into his main roster career, that lit the fuse on a powder keg that had been building inside Sami Zayn for the better part of a decade. Trick Williams did not walk onto SmackDown in January 2026 and carefully, diplomatically introduce himself to the established order. He strutted through that curtain with his lemon pepper steppers, smiled at the crowd that immediately started chanting his name, and essentially told Sami Zayn, one of SmackDown's most experienced and respected performers, that he was not living up to his potential. For any other performer, that might have stung momentarily and then faded. For Sami Zayn, a man who has come closer to the World Championship than almost anyone on this roster and walked away empty-handed every single time those words were a match thrown into an ocean of gasoline. Sami Zayn is resentful because he's come so close to becoming world champion, and yet he's come up short time and again. Now that Trick is on SmackDown and has been absolutely excelling, Zayn may see him as another threat that just waltzed into his domain, taking opportunities he felt were owed to him after years of service. Vice, https://www.vice.com/n/article/this-wrestle-mania-42-match-will-finally-snap-multiple-mania-droughts, years of service. That is the phrase that defines everything happening between these two men right now. Sami Zayn has given this company years, literal years of his life, his body, his artistry. He survived the bloodline. He turned babyface in front of 60,000 people in Montreal. He has been the emotional backbone of SmackDown through multiple championship eras. And then Trick Williams, in his first 4 months on the main roster, was told he was going to WrestleMania while Zayn was initially not even on the card. Zayn initially had been told he wasn't on the WrestleMania card, while rival Trick Williams was informed he would be at the show of shows. WWE, https://www.wwe.com/article/John-Cena-host-WrestleMania, not on the WrestleMania card. Sami Zayn, former honorary US, the man who saved Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, the man who was part of one of the greatest main event feuds in recent WrestleMania history, was told there was no spot for him at the grandest stage of them all, while the newcomer who had been calling him out for weeks was given his invitation. That is not just a scheduling decision. That is a statement from the people in power about how they view Sami Zayn's place in the current hierarchy. And Zayn, being the survivor he has always been, refused to accept it. Zayn turned his negative into a positive, however, as he challenged United States champion Carmelo Hayes in Hayes Open Challenge. He shocked the WWE Universe, defeating Hayes to become a 2-time United States champion. WWE, https://www.wwe.com/article/John-Cena-host-WrestleMania. He fought his way onto the card, alone, without being handed anything. He inserted himself into a title match, pinned the champion, and walked into WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas carrying gold. That is who Sami Zayn is at his core, a man who refuses to quit, who wills himself into moments through sheer force of determination. And arriving at WrestleMania as United States champion should have been the validation, the proof. The moment where Zayn finally stood at the top of the mountain and the company behind him said this man belongs here. Instead, what happened at WrestleMania 42 Night 2 in Allegiant Stadium was one of the most frustrating, most enraging, most bitter title losses in recent SmackDown history. Because Sami Zayn did not lose that United States Championship because Trick Williams was better than him on that night. He lost it because of a celebrity. Artist Lil Yachty, who has been supporting Williams in the lead up to Mania, helped him score the win on Sunday. After getting attacked by Zayn earlier in the match, Yachty got on the ring apron and attacked him, preventing a hell of a kick from being delivered. Yahoo Sports, https://sports.yahoo.com/wrestling/article/John-Cena-surprising-WWE-for-171135219.html, prevented. The hell of a kick. The move that Sami Zayn has used to close matches, to end feuds, to make defining career statements for the last decade was stopped by Lil Yachty on the apron at WrestleMania 42. A rapper cost Sami Zayn the United States Championship on the grandest stage of them all. And the crowd in Las Vegas, who had been leaning away from Zayn throughout the entire match, cheered wildly as Williams countered an attempted hell of a kick with a trick shot, securing the pinfall victory. Call now, https://KLNow.com/www/real-reason-john-cena-www-42-return-202604. The crowd cheered. They booed Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. They cheered the man who beat him with celebrity assistance. And that moment, that roar of the Las Vegas crowd rejecting a man who has given them everything, was the final trigger that transformed Sami Zayn's simmering resentment into something far darker and far more dangerous. Because the weeks that followed showed a man completely unraveling. The Gingerbread Man saga, which sounds absurd on the surface, which the internet has mocked and debated as either genius or embarrassing, is actually one of the most psychologically revealing storytelling tools WWE has deployed in months. Here is why. Williams and his friend Lil Yachty first introduced a live-action Gingerbread Man on the SmackDown before WrestleMania, a situation designed to mock Sami that ended with Zayn hitting the character with a thundering hell of a kick. Wrestling World, https://www.wrestling-world.com/news/www/39796/backstage-details-on-hyphen-WWE-future. They made a mascot out of his appearance. They turned his image into a joke. They brought a human being in a cookie costume to Friday Night SmackDown specifically to humiliate Sami Zayn, a man who has been performing at the highest level of professional wrestling for over 15 years in front of millions of people watching on Netflix. And the crowd laughed. And the crowd cheered Trick Williams. And the crowd chanted Gingerbread Man while Sami Zayn stood in that ring burning with a rage that the character in that costume would never fully understand. 5 days after WrestleMania, Williams threw himself a championship celebration. When Gingerbread Man showed up for the festivities, however, it was really Zayn in disguise. The irate former title holder laid waste to both Trick and Lil Yachty with a brutal candy cane attack. Wrestling World, https://www.wrestling-world.com/news/www/39796/backstage-details-on-hyphen-wwe-future. He dressed up in the costume. He hid inside the mockery to get close enough to strike. That is a man so consumed by wounded pride that he will put on the very outfit that was designed to humiliate him just to get within arm's reach of the people who put it on him in the first place. That is not petty. That is desperate. And desperate people in professional wrestling make the most compelling and the most destructive television in the world. And then came May 1st, SmackDown in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The moment that has the entire wrestling world arguing. The moment that cemented Sami Zayn's heel turn more definitively than any promo, any attack, any betrayal ever could. He came out to the ring, set up the Gingerbread Man costume on a mannequin, and stood there staring at it like a man staring at everything that has mocked him and disrespected him and taken from him. On the May 1st, 2026 episode of Friday Night SmackDown, he decided that the joke was over. Newsweek, https://www.newsweek.com/sports/wrestling/issue-hyphen reportedly-threatening-Brock-wrestling-116592889, Zayn lowblowed the Gingerbread Man, punched him in the face a few times, and then ripped off one of his arms. What Culture Wrestling, https://whatculture.com/www/brock-lesnar-refusing-to-lose-and-last-WWE-news, a low blow to a Gingerbread Man costume. And then he ripped the arm off. And the crowd, who could not decide whether to laugh or be horrified, sat in stunned silence as Sami Zayn stood over the dismembered mascot with the same expression on his face as a man who has just done something he cannot take back. And then Trick Williams showed up and attacked Zayn, who managed to escape the ring shortly afterward. Williams checked in on the Gingerbread Man and even threw the X sign. What Culture Wrestling, https://whatculture.com/www/brock-lesnar-refusing-to-refuse-and-lose-at-last-wwe-news, the X sign, for a gingerbread man costume. And somehow in the middle of all this absurdist madness, the crowd was completely invested. Because Trick Williams throwing the X sign over a fallen mascot while Sami Zayn fled the ring told you everything about where this feud stands emotionally. Williams is fighting for something beyond a championship. He is fighting for the culture he brought to SmackDown. For Lil Yachty. For the joy and the swagger and the generational energy that he walked through that curtain, carrying all of which Sami Zayn has been trying to exterminate week by week because it reminds him of everything he feels he should have been given and wasn't. Later, Williams was informed by a physician that the gingerbread man didn't survive Sami Zayn's attack. After that, Williams announced he'll defend his United States Championship against Sami Zayn at Backlash 2026. What Culture Wrestling, https://whatculture.com/www/brock-lesnar-refusing-to-lose-at-last-wwe-news, didn't survive. The gingerbread man is dead. And Sami Zayn killed him. And a funeral for the gingerbread man has now been announced for the following SmackDown, which means we are about to get one of the most gloriously unhinged, emotionally charged, legitimately entertaining segments in recent SmackDown memory. Since Williams' arrival on the main roster, a natural double turn has essentially happened, with Williams being the babyface and Zayn being the heel in their feud, without an outright turn. Zayn murdering the gingerbread man could be the closest thing to an actual heel turn that we've seen. FandomWire, https://fandomwire.com/John-Cena-WrestleMania-42-return-confirmed-watch-guide, no announcement. No dramatic reveal. No moment where Sami Zayn grabbed a microphone and declared himself a villain. Just weeks of accumulating bitterness, accumulating humiliation, accumulating rage until it manifested as a low blow and a dismembered arm in the middle of Friday Night SmackDown. That is the most authentic heel turn WWE has produced in years. The kind that grows organically from story rather than being imposed on it. The kind where you look back at every episode leading up to the moment and realize this was always where it was heading. And at Backlash 2026 in Tampa, Trick Williams has made it crystal clear that if Sami Zayn wants him, he can come and get him. As Williams said, Zayn has got his United States Championship rematch. Vice, https://www.vice.com/n/article/this-wrestle-mania-42-match-4-2-match-multiple-mania-droughts, no team, no Lil Yachty interference needed. Just 2 men, a championship, and 3 months of the most infuriating, most personal, most genuinely entertaining mid-card storytelling SmackDown has produced in the post-WrestleMania landscape. Zayn walks in carrying the fury of a man who was rejected by his own crowd. Williams walks in carrying the championship, the culture, and the memory of a gingerbread man who didn't make it. Sami Zayn has crossed the line. He committed the most disrespectful act we have seen on SmackDown in recent memory. And Trick Williams is done being mocked, done being underestimated, and done letting it slide. Backlash 2026 is going to settle this, one way or another. Drop a comment right now. Are you Team Trick, or are you secretly rooting for Sami Zayn to reclaim his title and his soul in Tampa? And if this gingerbread man saga has you more invested in this feud than you expected, share this video, because the people need to know the full story of how Sami Zayn became the man who murdered a mascot on live television. I'm Wrestling News CC. The gingerbread man is gone. Sami Zayn did it. And Trick Williams is